Greetings and salutations and welcome. Five Rings Yoga Heart. Moving through Transition. Series 13. My name is Dendael, and I'd like to take you on a journey. And the journey is to the innermost regions of yourself. The purpose of these short videos is to give you a deeper insight and some tools to work with that will help you get through transition and changes. I'd like to share with you actually a personal situation. And this particular one has to do with my own personal life. And this had to do with the early years of my life. For a large percentage of my life, there was always difficulty dealing with my mother. She was a tyrant. She was a person who was unable to hear. And also a person who was unwilling to let people help her. Now, some say that, she has what we call a multiple personality, dysfunctional personality, bipolar, whatever it may be. I've often said to her to get some help, and she refused. On top of that, what it made it also difficult for her, she became religious and became very self-righteous in her convictions, not being able to or want to understand any of the other beliefs, concepts. Because of that stance she took, and because of the personality, she was always argumentative, always talking down to people, which she still do. It made it very difficult for any of her relatives to be around her for any length of time. She was aware of that, but she did not know or did not want to change. Now, because of that early upbringing, I left at the age of 18 out of that environment. Got on my own. But there was a bitterness because I didn't quite understand the nature of it. And also it affected my early relationships with women. As time moved on, I began to realize that holding anger or hatefulness or revenge was not really beneficial, because you spend too much time trying to avoid that kind of person when basically you just need to be true to who you are. And so in the later years, I began to realize that I would never have a normal relationship with my mother. It would never be normal. So I did all my grieving, all my crying to let it go and forgive her and move on. That's all you can do. But because of that relationship, it also made me a much more stronger person. The early years of our lives as children, we're greatly influenced by our parents. And if your parents are not really the kind of parents that are really allow you to grow up and be who you need to be, you're going to have a major problem with any kind of relationship that you may be in, whether it's intimately or whether it's in the business setting relationship. And so from that, people say, well, how did you get to that point where you realized that you needed to change to what they call do a paradigm shift in your mind and change the nature of your relationship with your mother? I found out, based upon my inquisitive mind, really just wanting to find answers, because this didn't make a bit of sense of just constantly being in this bickering and this argumentative and constantly talking, condescending, and as a child trying to prove myself, to a parent that did not really understand, nor did they even really, they weren't able to grasp who I really was. So I guess the moral of this story would be like, one can change. One can get to a place in their life where they can let go of the pain and hurt of the past. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. It is possible. As always, the key thing that we have to remember, to their own self be true, for the whole path of life awaits you. Feel free to visit our website. Have a blessed, prosperous day. God bless.